What's up everyone, Jeff here, no cutscenes, and today I got basically the second part of my tips and tricks for Wasteland Workshop, and it's two parts. It's not going to have any of like the mini guides or the little showcases of just showing what you can do with different objects. I'm doing pretty much two separate guides in this one, and the first one here is hanging gardens, and these look pretty cool. I did it from Grey Garden just because I was working at Grey Garden at the time, but you can do them pretty much anywhere. You can build, your own separate like little bridge walkways, put them underneath. And then, of course, you can actually have the potted plants or the plant potters, whatever the fuck they're called, have them up there like that. And, if you put some cycling lights, some green ones, red ones, purple ones, blue ones, whatever color you want, they actually look pretty cool. It gives it, a little ambiance. Yeah, and they look pretty good. And up top, you can actually, of course, make it into like a little outpost, little defense post, whatever you want. And then this next part here, I'm going to show you how to use the buses and place them pretty much anywhere. And if you watched my tutorial before, I showed you how to do that with the power door. And as you can see here, like I have them placed kind of, anywhere. And over here I have them placed stacked on each other. I haven't finished doing the supports for them yet because I'm actually going to do hanging gardens from some of the buses. But yeah, as you can see, like I just put these without the power doors because I actually wanted to have my settlers sleep in them. But you can have them stacked on top of each other. It looks pretty good. So, alright, let's get started with the first one. And like I said, excuse me, I got a cough. Like I said before, I just worked at Grey Garden because that was where I was working and I decided to do it. You can do it probably at Finch Farm if you build a little walkway up, but for rule of thumb here at Grey Garden, I made the concrete walls. They don't actually need to be stacked on top of each other. You can actually just place it by itself. And as you can see here, like you can kind of move them around. And what you're going to need to do, well, I'll admit first off, this part may take a bit of time because you're going to kind of have to test everything, but if you just want to follow my lead here, you can kind of go right where it's positioned right now. That's going to be a good spot for it. If you want, you can kind of move it up and down a little bit. It gives you a little leeway, but not too much. But again, you're going to have to experiment. You're going to have to do some trial and error. But yeah, you kind of want it to be square with that support, that green support from the bridge. Bring in, gosh, damn, excuse me, a wall right there so it'll snap on, because what you're going to do, you can make it 4 long, you can make it 1 long if you want, it's up to you, but for this purpose here I just went ahead and made it 2 long. Bring another one, snap it down below, and what you're doing here is you're just testing. You're using these concrete wall columns and you just want to make sure that they actually snap to the concrete walls, the longer ones, so that you can put them through the bridge up top. And again, snap it down. In this part, it's kind of boring. You're just testing everything. You might have to find a right angle, like as far as it's a snap. And as you can see, I didn't snap one up top there, but that's because we're going to be snapping on the actual walkway of the bridge itself, up top there. So again, place one of these down, make sure that it snaps. This one will snap pretty much every time because again, it's pretty easy. Then after that, you're just going to want to take one of the floors. You can use the wood ones. I use the concrete just because I like using the concrete for the newer stuff. I feel like it's more supportive. Whatever, it doesn't really matter because it would float there anyway. But yeah, it's up to you. Basically, again, you're going to want to make it so that it's perfectly square, and this is good because it'll snap. You don't need to like guesstimate it or anything, which can get really annoying. Again, snap these columns up, make sure that they are perfectly flush. You're good. You're going to want to remove them because first we're going to have to actually put the potted plants down. So put your stairs up there. It kind of worked out perfectly where it's just right on the level. And then again, this part here, you're going to want to place another floor so you can do more of the snapping. Test it out. And this one here, you can kind of see like it snapped there, but it won't actually snap up on top of it. But we're going to remedy that just in a few minutes. You'll be able to see it. But again, you just want to make sure that you can actually snap everything up there. You don't need to place them. Place some of the ones on down below because otherwise you won't be able to. But again, see how it kind of goes in and out. You'll just have to find the right angle. It really just takes a bit of time. But again, as long as it snaps, you're good. So go ahead, remove these guys, and now we're going to actually go ahead and put our planters for the plants. Yeah. So you want to go ahead, go to the food, or resources, sorry, and go to miscellaneous. But first, what I'm going to show you is how to make those little lanterns. And I forget, it was a Reddit user, he posted that if you put these lights down, you can actually just go ahead and place the lanterns on top. He used the rug glitch. I found that you don't even need to do that. They'll overlap it and they'll be flush with the floor that's underneath it. So if you want, you can go ahead and place that. So you have a little ambient lighting, whatever, I don't know how you pronounce it. It doesn't matter at this point. If you want to go ahead and place another one down, if you want to just use like normal lights, you can. It's completely up to you. I'm just showing you how to do the actual foundation for as far as the hanging gardens. So go ahead, take your planter, your garden plot, that's what it's actually called, and make sure it's kind of flush or square with the actual floor there, because you're just going to be placing two and you want to have some room for your settlers to walk around. Of course they'll just walk right on it anyway, but if you want to make it look a little more presentable, you're going to want to kind of have it flush, squared off, everything just like how I'm having it right here. So yeah, it's pretty easy. Again, you just have to rotate it, move it back and forth to your liking. If you don't want it to be perfect, if you want to do like, again, if you want to do like a 4x4 or a 2x2 section, you can just put more of these. You can put more of the concrete walls sticking out. Again, you don't have to do it from Grey Garden. I just did it from Grey Garden, like I said, because I was working there. So again, now what we're actually going to do, we're going to go ahead and place the columns, because these are going to be our final positions for them. So go ahead, they'll snap, and the good thing is they will snap because you tested it out before. And even though you have the garden plots down there, they're going to snap over top of it, which is really nice. You don't have to like do any tricks or anything with like the multi-select, because that could get just really, really difficult. But again, if you need to make it snap on the far one down there, just move the wall, because that one will snap to the edge of the floor. It'll snap to the one that you have up top as well. And as you can see, it's going to snap pretty much in every spot. There are a couple ones that won't. I think there's only actually one, but it's the far left one, this one down here. As you can see, like, I try to get it to snap, it just won't as far as going from the bottom. But go ahead, place one so you have one as far as like a reference point for where you kind of need it to be, because you're going to move that longer wall up anyway, because that one's going to snap on top of it. So it's going to be really easy. Again, make sure that you go ahead and do it like that. You can ignore these two right here if you want. I just like having them because I feel like it gives it more support, makes it a little bit more realistic, like it actually could be supported by going through. And of course, you can't make these things go through, but I'm sure some engineer could figure out a way to put them in like that. So again, make sure that you have the right angle. You might just have to go off to the front here, but it will snap for the most part. And again, there you have kind of like the basis of it. So in this next part, you just want to go ahead and move these guys up to the second level there, because we're going to be snapping the floors up top, and we're going to be using that far left wall to snap the far left column that I was talking about earlier. So again, go ahead and do that, move them up. Basically, you'll be good to go. After that, you're going to want to go ahead and go up to the top. You can kind of take away the other ones that already have 2 levels, but you just want to leave the ones on the second level. And what I mean by taking away the ones that have 2 levels is the ones that are down below that you already snapped the columns to there. So as you can see, you kind of have like this little outpost, little walkway thing. Let's go ahead and you'll see that this one is kind of off a little bit, and it didn't actually snap to the other one. So you want to go ahead and remove that column. And we just placed that there so it's kind of like a reference point. I don't know what that one is, so just go ahead and remove it. But before you do anything else, you're going to want to make sure that you can do your floors. So take one of the shack upper floors, place it over top of the walls, remove all the columns, because you're not going to actually be able to place them if you have the floors there. But once you have the floors, or you're not going to be able to place the floors there if you have the columns, but you'll be able to place the columns once you have the floors. And as you can see, that one snapped perfectly fine. We're going to go check it out from down below, and you'll see that it ended up working out pretty well. And then after this point, it's up to you what you want to do with it. You can make it into another like full-on building, you can make it into a defense post, it's up to you. And basically there you go, you have your hanging gardens. Put some railings on the side, you can even put walls if you want to make it all walled in to make a weed grow or something like that. It's up to you. And we'll go ahead, we'll take a look at it from the bottom here at Grey Garden. And yeah, I'm happy with the result. You can do a bunch of these, and again, like I said, you don't need to do it from Grey Garden, you can do it from wherever you want. Just make a big old house that has a fall. It's pretty cool. Alright, now this part is the bus. This one, I'm going to skip a couple parts because I've already made a tutorial on how to do the bus with the power door as far as like what you need for the components. But again, here, we're going to do a delayed off switch times 2, so you're going to have 2 of them. You're going to have 1 generator, 1 terminal, and then the switches that we're going to be using are this powered pylon switch for the outside of it, and that switch for the inside, which is actually going to rest on the door itself. So, okay, we're good to go. Next part, like I said, we're going to be stacking it on a trailer. It's going to be the last one in the miscellaneous tab underneath structures. Go ahead. We just use the sanctuary one so I can show you that you can do it anywhere, but as you can see in my hangman's alley build, you can do it like legitimately anywhere, because unfortunately the trailer you can't do with the rug glitch, but the buses you can. So as long as you can place a trailer, you're good. And as you can see, it'll even snap to some of the doorways. It will snap to the concrete one, you just have to do trial and error. Alright, next part, we're just going to make a little scaffolding here. And we want to make it so that, see how it goes into the floor like that? You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be right on top of the ground, because that is actually perfect for the rug glitch for the bus that we're going to be using. So, and then after that, basically, just, you know, make some scaffolding so you can actually walk around. If you need to move the trailer a little bit, you just want to have it so that there's, you know, the shack floors that can go around. Again, it's really up to you which kinds you want to use, which ones you already have used. It doesn't really matter. We're just using these for support. You can use a concrete foundation. It doesn't matter. I just use the shack floors because I had a bunch of them already from Sanctuary. Alright, so now for the next part here, we're going to actually be placing our door. And as a rule of thumb, I kind of found that the best spot to place it, and this kind of goes for all the trailers if you stack them, is that little crease down there. It's got, see that little line, that little curved line? You want to kind of put the end of the door right up against that line. Now, and you want to have it stacked right where I have it, because if you have it any lower, it's not really going to work. But as you can see later, we're actually not going to be able to enter it until we drop the bus with the rug glitch, because again, most of the time with the rug glitch, if you remove the rug that's underneath of whatever object you have, it's going to drop. So afterwards, go get your bus, yellow, the orange one, whichever the fuck you want, and make sure you make something like this, because you're going to need a lot of room. You're going to need a lot of room to play with. So again, and the best way I found is that you put the front of the bus on it. The back of the bus just doesn't work. So again, and we're basically just doing this as kind of like a marker to test it. And you're going to have to do some trial and error like you see me do here. But basically, you just kind of want to remember where you actually end up placing the bus as far as how much it goes into the trailer. Excuse me there. But, you know, right here is fine. Basically, you're going to want to attach the door to your generator. And that's why we place everything on rugs, so that we can move everything kind of no matter what. And we're doing that just so that we can actually try and see if we can get in the door. Now, right here, you're not actually going to be able to get in the door just yet, because the level that the bus is on isn't okay. But because we're going to actually drop it, it's going to be fine. And that's what I was saying with the foundation. If you have it where it's just resting on the top of the ground, it's going to be even better, because it's going to be the perfect level. See, you can't get in it yet, but trust me, all right? Just keep watching and you'll be able to, because we're going to remove this rug and it's going to drop down a little bit. Not a crazy amount. It's not going to pop up, but yeah, it'll drop down a bit. So basically here, you just want to move all your objects up, and just go ahead, watch my other video to see how to do the actual door. But right now, we're going to go ahead and make a little landing, a little balcony pad for it. So take one of the shack upper floors, put it exactly like I had it. Take one of the shack stairwells, take one of your shack floors, because you're going to be able to make it a perfect fit every time as long as you follow exactly how I did it. And you can keep the shack upper floor there if you want. You can just do like another roof, but since the door itself would have a gap if you just did it with the floor, you might want to just keep it as like a roof for the shack upper floor. And there you go. You have a little landing pad, all good. All right, so basically now here I have everything connected except the actual powered pylon switch, but I have everything put on rugs so you can move them. And you want to put the switch that's going to be inside the bus on the back right, just because that's where the power conduit is from the actual powered door. It just makes sense. Everything is a little bit cleaner. And yeah, I've just placed the powered switch, or the powered pylon, down there. It's not on a rug, so you can't move it, but again, if you want, you can always place it on a rug. I just found that that's a good spot to put it. Go ahead, place your delayed off switch right there, and again, good rule of thumb, quick save before you ever drop something with the mats or the rug glitch, just in case you don't like the way it comes out. So again, you're going to want to go ahead, basically move all these things into the side of the door, make it clean, make it tidy. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can even put like the powered pylons or the delayed off switches inside the trailer down there. But since we're going to be using the trailer as another little home, you don't want to do that because they're just going to be interfering with it. And here my capture card kind of fucked up, so I had to do everything over again. But again, don't worry, I used the same technique. If you do this, it will work. And this is where I found that the bus is going to be good. And see, yeah, the capture card keeps messing up. But as you can see there, the bus actually did drop. And then if you go to your switched powered pylon, you'll actually be able to get into the door this time. So yeah, I don't know what's happening with my capture card. It's just super weird. Yeah, I really don't know. But there you go. Basically, you have stacked buses. And you can do these buses like I showed you with Hangman's Alley everywhere that you can get them on a rug glitch. So you're good to go. I'll show you here just a couple more examples of what you can do with it. But yeah, you can put them on the houses up top to Sanctuary. I did that. I even have one in Grey Garden, like spanning the bottom where that support is underneath the bridge, and I have a hanging garden from it. You can do them like this as well, where you have like your own personal house. So yeah, it's up to you. Now this here I just included because I thought it was pretty cool. I made like this little, I don't know, trap house, raider death trap, where basically there's a raider that falls through a trap door down 2 floors, a charred ghoul comes out, whatever kind of ghoul, and then a gunner is at the bottom, and it's all enclosed, so like it just looks pretty cool, and like your settlers can't get in there. They'll still shoot them because they're dumb fucks, but you know, nothing really much you can do about that. So yeah, let's go see it. Shut off the power, go watch this guy through trap door. Bam, he falls down, charred ghoul comes out, and he messes his shit up. And it's a raider veteran, so he's actually a pretty tough dude. He's got a gun, but this charred ghoul is just gonna tear him up. And I love doing shit like this, especially since Wasteland Workshop, and since I'm on Xbox One, so I couldn't actually just spawn in creatures like you PC guys have, and there's no mods yet, so yeah, nothing I can really do. So yeah, that charred ghoul fucked that dude up. There's the gunner here. You're not going to shoot me. I'm going to evade you. But the charred ghoul just runs down the stairs and starts beating into shit. He already knocks his rifle down. I love doing this stuff. So if you guys want to know like how I made this, I will gladly put up a tutorial. It's just I've been doing so many different videos. And like I said, I'm going to have part 3 out very soon with a bunch of mini tutorials, mini showcases really. And very soon I'm actually going to be having like just a showcase of all my favorite buildings that I've built since Wasteland Workshop. So that should be out, you know, probably sometime this weekend. And yeah, we have to of course kill this guy because we can't have him just running around. He's gonna mess our shit up. He's a tough one. Of course, for the last part, we have to hit him with a gloss rifle in the face. But yeah, I hope y'all liked the video. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to learn how to build anything else that you saw, that I previewed. Please tell me. I will gladly do it. And yeah, have a great day, y'all. Thanks for watching. See ya.